We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Have fun. Hey, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path. Because when you talk, they hear you.
Would you like to work closer to home, save money on gas, and be rewarded for your hard work and attendance? Then Bellisio Foods is looking for you. That's right, Bellisio Foods is now hiring for multiple positions and shifts with great employee benefits, an on-site health clinic, competitive wages, and advancement opportunities. Bellisio Foods is a company that truly values their employees. Apply online at BellisioFoods.com/careers.
Well, happy morning, everyone. And if you haven't floated away,
I about got washed away this morning.
I know it is crazy.
It was bad.
Like the parking lot out here is flooded. Like it is.
It was bad.
We live on a giant hill and our yard is like flooded. I'm like, what? What is happening right now? Please, 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 someone turn the spigot off outside so that things can dry up a little bit. But we are here, and Mr. James is here on this side of the camera.
I am.
So it's always so fun to have you,
Thank you.
over here. And
So much fun.
So that we can chat. And starting off the new year yesterday, of course, with our good friend Pete Wilson and our friend Sandy from Herds of Hope and the snow. What is the
snowball? The snowflake ball.
The snowflake ball. We'll be telling you more about that too. But yeah, we're just going to chit chat today.
Yeah.
Catch up a little bit.
I think that sounds fun.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Haven't talked in a long time.
Not
See?
since yesterday.
Not since yesterday. The thing is, James and I, we talk off the air. So we have to talk about appropriate things on the air.
Yep.
I mean, not like completely inappropriate things here off the
Mostly
air, but like
inappropriate things.
Mostly things we can't talk about off on the air.
Yeah. Hey, I want to channel my inner John boy for a second.
Oh, okay.
Today is National Trivia Day. So, those of you listening, hit us with your favorite trivia questions in the comments today.
That's such a good idea.
We will try to answer them throughout the show.
And we will be so bad at it.
Yeah.
Hey, today is Wednesday, right?
It is Wednesday.
Do you know what is today at 6 Cents Brewing?
Trivia Day.
It is.
Is it?
Yes.
That's funny.
So you can come play trivia tonight on National Trivia Day.
Is there a theme?
Yes.
Have you decided what the theme is yet?
I have no idea what it is, but I'll see if I can.
That's all right.
I'll tell you what. Let's find out.
All right. Let's consult the internet. So today, Wednesday, January 4th, National Trivia Day. So hit us with some trivia questions in the comments.
Yes.
Yes. So,
Like who's buried in Grant's tomb?
Is it Grant?
I don't know. If you watch the Golden Girls, no.
Oh.
It was someone else.
Okay.
It was Cary Grant.
Cary Grant. Well, that's a Grant. That is a Grant.
But yeah. So yeah, trivia questions.
Mm-hmm.
How fun.
Yeah. So I'll try to keep an eye on here in the comments. So National Trivia Day. Give us some trivia questions in the comments. Any topic. We'll certainly not know the answer, but
that's right.
We'll give it a go, and
we're not very
we'll have some fun.
Smart about things that have to do just things.
We're just not smart.
We're just not smart. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, so it's a new year.
It is,
and we've been talking. Well, not necessarily us, but people in general have been talking a lot about inflation.
Inflation, like Greek mythology. Is the trivia theme at 6 Cents Brewing tonight.
I was like, what?
Keep up, James.
My bad.
So you can talk about Icarus and
okay.
You can talk about Medusa and whomever else you'd like to talk about.
Medusa. Is that Greek mythology?
I think so.
I don't know.
Maybe she's Egyptian.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway.
It's been a long time. I don't remember any of that stuff.
The Iliad and the Odyssey. And
Yeah.
all of that. Yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, I've seen Disney's Hercules. Does that count?
I mean, why not?
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, inflation.
So that has led to 23 states and the District of Columbia to raise their minimum wage.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're a business owner, so you probably know what minimum wage in Ohio was.
Yeah, I think right now it's 8 something. Am I wrong?
You are wrong. So the minimum wage in Ohio in 2022 was $9.30, and the tipping wage was $4.65.
So that's mostly what I deal with. So
the tipping wage.
Yeah, because all of our kitchen people made way more than the minimum wage. So I guess I don't know what it is, and then I just know what the tipped wage is, which is 4 something.
So in 2023, that minimum wage is going to go up to $10.10 an hour. That's an 80 cents an hour increase.
Oh,
and the
in
tipping
Ohio?
In Ohio, and the tipping wage is up to $5.05. That's a $40 cents an hour increase. And that adjustment is based on inflation. So the biggest increase is in Nebraska.
Oh.
So in Nebraska, this was a ballot initiative. This was not a inflation related increase. So they had a ballot measure to increase the state's minimum wage to $15 an hour by 2026 in increments of $1.50 a year. And that brings the state's minimum wage this year to $10.50.
Okay.
So that's in Nebraska. The smallest increase is that state up north.
The one up north.
The one up north. So according to Michigan Public Radio, their increase went into effect at the start of the year, raised the state's minimum wage to $10.10, which is what it is in Ohio, up just 23 cents. But there's a chance for a second increase that could raise the state's minimum wage to $13.03.
Whoa, how's that?
There are no details. There's a link to another.
Just because
there's a link
internet said so.
There's a link to another article, but the details are not in this article.
Yeah.
So Washington State, the state's minimum wage went up. So in Washington State, the minimum wage is $15.75. But in Seattle, it was actually raised less than the state because they made a big deal in Seattle about raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour. Yeah. Do you want to take a guess which? Well, this only has states that had increases, but do you want to take a guess what state has the highest minimum wage? And we'll include Washington, D.C. in this.
The highest minimum wage?
Yeah, this list only lists states that had an increase this year.
Okay.
But I'm going to guess that this is probably the highest minimum wage.
I would have to think that the highest minimum wage would either be...
and we're going to include Washington, D.C. in this. So which state, including D.C., has the highest minimum wage?
Well, you keep saying including D.C.
So
Washington,
in D.C., it's $16.10.
$16?
$16.10.
Gotcha.
In D.C.
See, I would have guessed New York or California probably.
Yeah, so California is 15 even. It'll go up to 15.50 this year. And I don't think New York is on. No, here. New York is 13.20.
Oh.
And it will go up to 14.20. So, expensive places to live.
It's interesting though, because like my niece just moved back from Seattle, and speaking of Seattle, and just and knowing what they paid rent out there, like
I can imagine.
It is kind of relative to the money I feel like that you like. If you live in Seattle, minimum wage better be way higher because you couldn't afford to live, and so
everything costs.
Yeah, it's really bizarre, here rent versus there. And it's funny, it's the same country. It's so strange.
Well, it makes it a lot easier to move from Washington to Ohio to move from Ohio to Washington.
Yeah. Yep, you're right. But so yeah, I don't know. Minimum wage is tough, from I understand from the employee standpoint and I understand from the employer standpoint because things are so expensive right now for businesses to try to run. And then obviously payroll is typically one of your highest, costs a month. So, $1 or $2 per person per hour for 40 hours a week or whatever, it adds up quickly. So yeah, it's hard when it changes all the time.
Yeah.
But things are getting more expensive, so people do need more money to be able to afford them. So it's just this whole economy thing that goes round and round and round. So you just need to find that sweet spot where it all works for everybody.
Yeah. So let us know in the comments, like, are you affected by this? Anyone affected by this? Did you get a cost of living raise this year or some sort of inflation, increase to your pay? Or are you, still fighting that?
Right.
Well, you're probably still fighting it either way, but
right.
fighting it more.
Yeah, it's kind of wild to think about how it would affect folks. And then so if they're saying that there's inflation and whatever, but then the government doesn't increase things as much as
Yeah, this what I have here is all states. There hasn't been a
what about Social
increase.
Security or
That's a whole other thing.
Benefits or that kind of thing. SSI, things like that people are getting. Are they getting increases for that for inflation? I bet not.
Probably not. Just raising interest rates.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. By the way, that 3% interest rate you had on your mortgage, it's now 8.
Yeah.
So just get to paying. Love that.
Yeah. And apparently that eases the burden of this somehow.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure exactly how that's supposed to make us all feel better, but cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's like, you're going down the road, with a certain mindset of how you're going to pay your bills and finances and whatever, and then it just derails.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to figure that all out on the fly. And maybe or maybe not, you get an increase in pay or whatever. So it's okay. We just won't buy medicine. It's fine.
That's true.
I mean, there's a lot of people that have to make that choice, and
so
that's not fair.
My next story I've got here is about travel plans and how that went awry for a lot of people over the holidays.
We have some stories the people.
So I had a cousin that was lives in the UK, and she was just like, what are y'all doing with the hospitals and the medical stuff here?
Oh, really?
I forget exactly what her story was, but she was talking about paid leave for childbirth and stuff like that. And she's I think it was in the Netherlands, when you adopt a child, not have a biological child, when you adopt a child, both parents get 6 months paid leave that they can take in any order they want.
Okay.
So you could take 3 months, and then your spouse could take 3 months, and then you could take 3 months, and then your spouse could take 3 months.
I see. Or you could do it all simultaneously.
Or you could do it, you kind of cut that up any way you want to. Yeah.
So you could technically have a year home with your child.
Yeah.
One or the other.
One or the other, yeah. And, here it's you got 2 weeks paid vacation.
That or nothing.
Yeah, or nothing.
Or nothing.
Yeah, or nothing.
Just have the baby and then come right back to work, 2 days later.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
Crazy stuff. But yeah, so
travel was a nightmare over the holidays.
I only traveled by car, and I didn't go anywhere more than 2 hours away. But you flew.
I did.
You very bravely flew.
I did.
Yeah.
I know. So right before I left, I think James's final words to me were, "You've lost your mind. I cannot believe you're flying on Christmas." And I was like, "Thanks for the vote of confidence. Hopefully we make it." Needless to say, I mean, it was -6 and whatever. But so our travel story was really great. I mean, we traveled Delta, flew from Cincinnati to Fort Lauderdale.
That was the right choice.
Yeah.
This past couple weeks.
Delta, they were on it. Our flights all arrived early, actually. They were very informative about, their app. You can check. It's really cool. You can find out where your plane is that day.
Like it's in New York now and it's getting ready to fly to Cleveland or Columbus or wherever.
And it'll tell you like it's on the taxiway. It just took off. Like it's so cool. Or it's in air on the way, just landed. So you can keep up on all of that stuff, which is a very nice tool to have. But we left Christmas morning and left here, and of course the roads were disgusting. Cincinnati was horrible. Normally we get the same weather that they get.
I don't know. I feel like it's normally worse weather there.
It was horrible there. The roads were horrible still. Like I could not believe it. And of course it's like negative something. So you're trying to drive and the stuff's coming up on your windshield and your windshield wiper fluid won't work because it's like
that happened to me. Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know, try to wipe the windshield. Like, I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, we got to the airport, everything, nobody in the airport on Christmas Day. It's fantastic.
Yeah. I bet. Surprised it wasn't just insanely busy.
Yeah, no.
Everybody flew the day before.
The day before, probably, or the day before that. But we had no problem. Our only problem was we got to Florida. It was 40 degrees. Everyone was freezing. Spent the next 5 days in rain and freezing, and then came home to
rain and slightly above freezing.
A little bit above freezing. So, But flight-wise, it was fantastic. Yeah. But you and I were talking about this Southwest debacle.
My cousin had the misfortune of flying in on Southwest. They lost his luggage.
Yep.
His flight was delayed multiple times. He didn't have his winter coat because it was in the luggage. His son had all of his like video games and stuff in their check-in bag, so his son lost all that stuff. So they were here for a weekish, and to my knowledge, I mean he's back home now, and to my knowledge, still doesn't know. Yeah, I know. I never heard for sure that they made it home, but I know they made it to the airport.
It's possible that they may not have ever made it home.
No,
yet. Southwest.
But yeah, so he still doesn't know where his bag is.
It is insane. So Jamie and I, we took a little cruise, and so when you leave the ship, they have just big vans. So everybody piles in a van and goes to the airport. So like they can just fit as many people as they fit in the van, and everybody shares, and you just go. So we got in the van first, and this family, like nice family, like, mom, dad, 2 teenagers get in the van with us. And we weren't really talking to them because we were just talking to ourselves, I guess. And they were like, what airline? And we were like, Delta. And they were like, Southwest, we guess. And I didn't think anything about it. And when we pulled up to the terminal, they were first. And she said, asked the cab driver, she was like, can I get a baggage claim from here? And he said, what? And I turned around, I was like, huh? And she was like, oh, yeah. So Southwest canceled our flight. We rented a car. We drove 17 hours to get to Florida. But Southwest had taken our bags. So when we got to Florida to get on the ship, they were supposed to be here at the airport. Well, they weren't at the airport. So they had to get on the ship with nothing. They had nothing. Got on the ship with nothing.
I bet they hit that gift shop up hard.
I'd say so. And I was
all
like,
their clothes says Carnival Cruises on
it. But I just felt so sorry for them.
Yeah.
And she's like, so we're going down, now that we're back, we're going to the baggage claim and praying that our bags are there somewhere. And she was like, and praying that we get home. And I was like,
good luck.
I am so sorry. Oh my gosh. we're just like, all happy-go-lucky, got our
Yeah.
bags and, woo! Like we had to suffer through some rain. Oh, well, But so then I get on the plane and I just started looking through the news because, you're trying to catch up on stuff. And I just see this story, one after the other, that's exactly the same story.
Yeah.
Or we missed our honeymoon cruise because we got halfway to the cruise port and they canceled our flight, lost our bags. We didn't know where, we were stuck in some airport somewhere.
Yep.
And it was all Southwest.
Yep.
And I'm like, holy moly.
Yeah. My cousin said when he flew into Columbus and was down in baggage claimed that there were like 4 different news crews down there doing a story about it.
And that's just Columbus.
And that's just Columbus. Imagine Atlanta. Yeah. Well, so Southwest is based in Dallas.
Okay.
So this is from the Associated Press. Southwest Airlines is trying to make travelers who were caught in a surge of canceled flights over the holidays feel a bit better about the airline by giving them 25,000 frequent flyer points.
I'd say there's a lot of people that won't step foot on another Southwest plane. I don't know if that makes me feel any better.
So 25,000 frequent flyer points is about $300 worth toward flights. So CEO Bob Jordan said, "I know that no amount of apologies can undo your experience."
You think?
He added, with
Wow.
great urgency to process refunds, return lost bags, and handle requests for reimbursement costs incurred by stranded travelers. Dallas-based Southwest canceled more than 15,000 flights between December 22nd and December 30th.
That's insane.
Yeah. Christmas week. While other airlines recovered in a couple of days from the winter storms, Southwest continued to struggle in airplanes that were stranded far from where they were supposed to be. Southwest says that it booked flights from December 24th to January 2nd that were canceled or significantly delayed received those 25,000 points. It did not disclose how many passengers were booked on those flights.
So here's
was
the
that
question,
you?
though.
Let us know.
Yeah, is that enough? Because, okay, so I'm thinking about the folks, the cruise people that we rode in the cab with. So can you imagine how much money they had to spend? A, renting a car. B, gas to get to Florida.
Yeah.
C, all the money they had to spend on clothing once they got there, which would not be cheap, and toiletries and all that stuff. What's your $300, voucher gonna?
Yeah. If I were them, I would have missed that cruise.
I know. Jamie
I would
and
have found something else to have done.
We had that discussion. Do you chalk that up to a loss or not? What do you do with that?
Yeah.
Because that was just an ordeal. Which I guess they drove to Florida not knowing that they weren't going to have their luggage.
No.
So
Yeah.
but like I said, and the thing with Southwest is everything that you read, they blamed the weather. I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure that Delta and American and United and Virgin and Alaska and every other airline out there dealt with the same weather.
A little bit better. They
Just
handle it a little bit better.
So you can't use that as an excuse because everybody else got their stuff together.
Yeah. It definitely
They dropped the ball big time.
It exposed some larger issue that they have with
exactly. And then I saw an article that was talking about, it was like some pilots, and they were like, we called this because they don't have enough staff basically to handle all of this. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, then don't book the flights. Rather to not leave people stranded than to, I don't know.
Yeah. The last time I flew, I had a flight delayed because there's I don't know if it's their rule or if it's a law or what, but they can't go if they don't have a certain number of flight attendants.
Yes.
And one of the flight attendants had to leave, so they had to cancel the flight. So I imagine with those winter storms, there were probably a lot of people that just couldn't make it to work.
Well, and then it's this whole domino effect, right? So if this plane doesn't get from here to there because of whatever reason, then that crew isn't here to, you know, and it
they're
just goes
stranded in Chicago. They
so
can't
on and so forth.
work your flight out of Columbus. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's I was on a flight one time and the girl was like, hey, don't pay any attention to my uniform. And I was like, oh, I didn't even notice. She's like,
had a different airline.
Yeah. She was like, I was on American and she had a Delta uniform on. And I was like, I didn't even notice. I wasn't paying any attention. But we were just chatting about, because we both had curly hair and we were chatting. And she was like, they just called me in this morning and they asked if I would do it. And I was like, sure, because somebody didn't show up. And she's like, I was already at the airport, but I told them I had to wear this uniform. And they were like, we don't care.
Yeah, I've seen stuff like that before. Sometimes they even make an announcement if there's like a, something like that.
Like, do you care what uniform they have on?
But
I don't care.
But I've definitely noticed that sometimes there's one flight attendant that has a different uniform on.
One of the funniest things that I ever saw was we had a nonstop flight down to Florida and we were leaving for a cruise and like the ship doesn't wait on you, right? So if you don't get down there tough, you're stranded. So we're sitting in the airport and they kept saying the flight was delayed and we're like, whatever. Literally the pilot walks up the gangway and he's like yelling like this. He was like, or gets on the thing and he's like, okay, we have a choice. The water in the bathrooms is not working. It's a 2.5 hour flight. We can either wait for them to fix the bathrooms or y'all can sit in your seats and not have bathrooms. What do you want to do? And we were all like, let's go. And he was like, that's what I thought. So we all got on the airplane and didn't have bathrooms and nobody cared. We were just like, it's a 2-hour flight. Like you could probably handle that. I was like, I'm surprised in today's world they'll let you do that.
Well, I'm surprised too. And then the stewardess comes down and like, would you like some coffee? No.
I'll just take the cup, please.
No.
Oh, shoot.
But so you and me both took a little mini vacation over Christmas.
Yes.
And, we mostly survived.
Yes.
And we're back at work now.
We are.
And I saw this article this morning and it just made me think of, how nice it is to get away for a few days,
Sure.
So this is from this is from The Onion. So if you're not familiar with The Onion, it's a satirical online newspaper. So the title is "Man Returns to Work After Vacation with Fresh and Vigorized Hatred for Job." Oh my
gosh. I don't think that's how that's supposed to work.
So, arriving back at work after a 2-week winter vacation, local marketing assistant Matthew Busso told reporters on Monday that he was happy to return to the office with a fresh, rejuvenated loathing for his job. It's always nice to get away for a few weeks, clear my head, and come back invigorated with a newfound disgust for my place of employment with various responsibilities of my thoroughly depressing job, said Busso, age 38, noting that his time away had inspired him to complete mind-numbing administrative tasks, engage in idle discussions with aggravating coworkers, and listen to BS inspirational speeches from his boss with a rekindled sense of anger and despair. I rested, my batteries are recharged, and I am ready to despise my entire life more intensely than ever before. At press time, the revitalized Busso was furiously balling his fists at the sound of nearby coworkers' loud typing.
I guess you could go down that path.
So, sometimes that's the way you feel.
I can't even imagine. Like, oh my gosh. Wow. That's a lot. Dude needs to find a new job.
Yeah, the dude he needs to chill. But I thought that was very funny.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, I'm not just rested and rejuvenated. I'm rejuvenated for my hatred.
Yeah. Revigorized.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, shoot. So it's you know, the New Year's has come to, you know, to be. And James and I came up with the best business plan of all time this morning.
We did?
Yeah. Well, it was actually your idea, but we kind of talked about it. Yeah. So James and I are going to open up.
Oh, yeah.
The it's going to be called the Resolution Gym.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to rent a space
Mm-hmm.
from January 1st, which we should have already done that.
Yeah, we're about a week behind already.
Oops.
I think we missed the real gold rush.
Maybe we'll do this next year. Yeah. We're going to rent a space between January 1st and February 15th.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to open a gym.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to charge people memberships.
Mm-hmm.
And then on February 15th, we're going to close it because nobody will be there after that anyways.
Right. And it would give them an excuse to stop going.
Yes.
So
it's win-win for everybody.
Right.
Plus, then we have the influx of money
Mm-hmm.
from all those prepaid gym memberships that no one's going to use.
Right. And we don't have to pay like rent on the building for the rest of the year. It's just a month and a half lease.
Yes.
That's a thing, right?
Sure.
You've got rental spaces.
If you find the right building.
Yeah.
There's going to be some equipment in between tanks at the Six Sense Brewing Company.
Yeah.
No.
Well, we can lift kegs. That's a good workout.
It is a good workout. Our friend that was in the gym the other day said that they do kegs with the strong man.
I do kegs.
I drink out of them. But no, so is that a good business plan? I think it is.
I don't know. But, you know, it does make you think, like, what New Year's resolutions do you have?
I don't know. Do you ever make them?
No.
I don't ever either.
No.
Because they never, like, why waste your time? Because it's not going to happen anyways.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's good to have, like, little goals and things like that. But putting out some grand resolution, it's a little dramatic for me, maybe.
Yeah, like, I'm going to run a marathon or... I mean, I guess that could be a goal that could be achieved.
Some people do that for sure.
Yeah, not this girl.
No. Have you ever done a 5K?
I haven't. I don't run anywhere with these crappy knees that I have. Yeah. I gallop sometimes.
Mm-hmm. It'd be hard to gallop a 5K. That's more of a sprint kind of thing.
I could try it.
You could. Take one where you can walk your dog and just kind of have a little leisurely walk.
A little gallop?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did see, while we were gone, there's this girl, and that made me think of it. It's so interesting. She started running, and it was like a young girl, and she ran with her dad. Well, her dad came down with Parkinson's and could not continue. Well, then several years later, she was out running one day, and like her left leg wouldn't work. And so they diagnosed her with some form of that. So she was like, okay, what am I going to do? I can't, this is like what I love to do. She ran marathons and did all of this stuff. Well, she found out she could run backwards.
So she ran a marathon backwards?
Yes. She runs marathons backwards. She runs 5Ks. She runs, half marathons. She did a, triathlon where you swim.
She swam backwards?
I don't know if she swam backwards, but she runs. I can swim backwards faster than I can swim forwards, strangely enough.
Oh, yeah?
But yeah.
Sounds like a challenge.
But I know, right? But yeah, so she just runs backwards, and it's just gotten to be a thing. But her body will work if she's going that way. So we should all try it and see. I just feel like there's just
a good way for me to get hurt.
A lot that could go wrong with, with that. But she started running with spotters and things like that. And but I mean, when they were showing her, she was just out on the on the boardwalk running.
Did you watch any of the Special Olympics when they had the marathon with like the blind runners and stuff like that?
No.
And so they run like tethered to a sighted runner, and they sort of run together. It's pretty cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I thought that made me think of that. It's just thinking outside the box to be able to get to do something that you love to do.
I suppose so. I mean, I don't know.
Good for you.
Yeah, good for her.
Yeah. So I don't know. New Year's resolutions. Do y'all keep them? Do you make them? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a good one.
I don't
you know?
either.
Just
Living, man.
Yeah, just keep on living, man.
Livin.
That's my New Year's resolution. Yeah.
Just Matthew
Yeah.
McConaughey it.
I was listening to a podcast the other day. This guy, he's a television critic or like a film critic or something like that, and he had never seen It's a Wonderful Life. And so like his friend made him sit down and watch It's a Wonderful Life. And she was talking about like, we watch movies all together all the time. And she's like, sometimes he's a little annoying to watch movies with. Like that time we watched Dazed and Confused and he repeated the entire movie to himself while we were watching it.
So true.
Yeah.
There's so many good lines in that movie that you can repeat that. Yeah.
Yep. I love that movie.
None that we can repeat here on TV. Well, some.
Martha Washington was a hip lady, man.
Man.
Lady, comma, man.
Mm-hmm. Not lady, man, all one word.
Mm-hmm.
Lady, comma, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
She used to grow fields of that stuff, man.
Yeah. When George got home. Anyway.
He's so good. So funny.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Dazed and Confused, just sit down and watch it.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty
You
good.
need to watch the one that director made about the baseball team. I think Jamie will really like that.
Mm-hmm.
I keep forgetting what it's called. It's called Everybody Wants Some, I think.
Okay.
And it's sort of a spiritual sequel to Dazed and Confused. It's about a college baseball team.
Okay.
I think Jamie would really like it because he played college baseball, and
Yeah.
you guys obviously like Dazed and Confused. It's a very good movie. It's not as iconic, but still a very good movie.
Yeah. It's funny the people, though, that you tell to watch that movie, and they're like, that was like the dumbest movie. And I'm like,
I
What?
don't know who would say such a
What?
thing.
didn't like it. What?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? You just want to be like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Why do you not like that movie?
I don't know. Maybe because we're not teenagers anymore. And just
Could be.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, shoot. All right. Well, I don't know. I don't do the New Year's resolutions. So
Mhm.
it's just not for, I wish I could.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could follow through with something, like you want to be like, yeah, like everyone else. I'm going to
finish renovating a building.
Yeah. I'd like to get a new tap room open. Like for the state to come back to work and approve my plans.
That's your New Year's resolution.
Yes.
You're dealing with the guy from that Onion article.
Yes.
That's the guy at the state that you're trying to get to rubber stamp your paperwork.
Yes. I hate plans.
Denied.
I hate breweries.
Denied. It's the only pleasure he gets out of life is denying.
You're not kidding. Well, our friend Sandy was in yesterday, she was talking about the Snowflake Ball, which is coming up January 21st. And she and her husband started this nonprofit called Herds of Hope. And basically, they have a farm in Southeast Ohio around here that works with all youth, specializing in at-risk youth and young people with developmental abilities. And the farm has miniature animals, and the kids can come out, they do crafts, they do cooking, they do, feed the animals, they do all kind of fun things. So the Snowflake Ball is to benefit that. And it's a great time for you to get all dressed up if you like, you don't have to, and come out, celebrate an evening of dancing and dining and door prizes.
Ooh.
Triple D.
Triple D.
January 21st, it is at Park's Edge, 5 to 10. There's going to be a DJ and really good food with slow roasted beef and chicken and all kind of good stuff. Salad, rolls, green beans, mashed potatoes. So, yeah, you can come on out and check that out.
Speaking of Triple D, did you watch any of Dolly Parton's New Year's Eve special?
No, I was.
I couldn't resist that segue.
Wow.
Couldn't resist it.
He just
Couldn't
went
resist
straight
it.
there, didn't he?
Couldn't. You said it. I couldn't resist it.
It's that good. Touche.
Yeah.
No, because I was watching the ill-fated Buckeyes game
Oh, yeah.
that we watched all the way to the bitter end.
Oh, yeah, I saw it. Speaking of the Buckeyes game, I saw an article where the mother of the kid that missed the kick had like put out a statement, like thanking everybody for all of the
For not sending him death threats.
For not sending her 20-year-old child death threats for missing a kick.
You know, my bleeding heart says.
I know.
My bleeding heart says, seriously, that no game of that caliber should come down to one young man and his leg ability to kick a football at the last second. Like, it just seems so unfair.
Yeah. But look at that McPherson guy from the Bengals. I mean, he's only like 2 years older than this guy. And I mean, what a celebrity that made him.
Yes.
So I mean, it goes both ways.
It does go both ways. If you didn't watch the Buckeyes game, unfortunately, it came down to a 50-yard field goal, and our kicker did unfortunately miss with basically no time left, and we were down by 1 point, which would have won the game, but he missed it, and it's the way it is. Ohio State, although I will say we played way better than I thought. Very proud of them. They did a great job. That Georgia team is so good, and I think we led most of the game, or were tied most of the game. So it was a good game to watch, just not the outcome that you want at the last second as you've watched it the whole time. So it was so funny. The game ended and I looked at the clock and it was like 5 after, and I was like, oh no. Oh no. So no, what did Dolly and Miley do a good job?
Yeah, I just saw a couple clips of it online. I didn't watch any of it live.
They're funny together.
But yeah, they were good. I watched a little bit of it on YouTube. It was funny. They were very good. The crowd was very into it.
Were they?
Which was funny.
You know, everybody loves Dolly. I've never heard anybody say they don't. Miley, I think, can be a little polarizing. I've always been a Miley fan. Love her. I think she I feel sorry for anybody that's a child star, because I think that there's just a lot of stuff that happens to you that could go awry. I think she's extremely talented and has such a unique everything look. I mean, she's very original, I think. And so that's, I think, why I've always really liked her, and hasn't gotten herself into too much trouble. So
no. All things considered, no. Because how much trouble she probably could have been in.
Yes.
Last year, we were just talking about the Bengals. So when the Bengals are in the Super Bowl, my brother-in-law and his dad scraped together their pennies and flew out to California for the game. And the night before the game, they had like sort of a pep rally kind of thing at the Staples Center. And the headline was Green Day performed.
Cool.
But Miley Cyrus was the opening act.
You're kidding.
Yeah, and so they're like, I never thought I'd be at a Miley Cyrus concert. She's pretty good.
She's definitely awesome. She has such a good, cool, like Stevie Nicks kind of
raspy
punk rock
vibe.
Yeah. She could have gone country. She could go, whatever way she wants to go.
She's very talented.
Yep. So, but yeah, she and Dolly together, because I think Dolly's her godmother.
Yeah.
So them together is just funny, because she.
It's a good duo.
Yeah. I hope they do that again. I wish I could have seen it.
Well, I think it's on, like I said, I think it's all, well, maybe not all of it, but the highlights are on YouTube.
Okay.
So you can check that out.
What do you look up? Like,
I don't know, Miley Cyrus, Dolly Parton.
Okay.
Shouldn't be too hard to find.
Okay.
Yeah. Shouldn't be too hard to find.
I'm not very good at navigating YouTube for some reason. I don't know why.
It's because you're old.
Did you just say that?
Hey, if we had a freaking high school kid in here, I guarantee you he could find it on YouTube.
Probably. Well, now I'm going to go home and find it just because you said that, you jerk.
If you text me tonight at like 9 o'clock and you're like, I can't find it.
I can't find Dolly anywhere.
I can't even find the app on my phone. I'm going to be like Jennifer.
Is there a YouTube app on my phone?
Should be. If it's not, you can download it real fast.
I'm gonna look.
So the original iPhone came.
I've got to hold it
YouTube-
out here because I'm old and I
you're
can't
old.
see.
So the original iPhone came with YouTube pre-installed, and then
Oh, yeah.
Apple and Google had a falling out. So now you have to download it. Fun fact for National Trivia Day.
Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's on my phone. And so what's this YouTube whatever where it says try it free for 2 weeks?
But
Is that the subscription?
Yeah, YouTube has a couple different subscription models. I pay for YouTube Premium. Marlon Delaney says it's on the NBC YouTube channel, but
Oh,
you can just
thanks,
search.
Marlon.
But you can just search for it.
Okay.
So I pay for the Premium YouTube, which just takes the ads off. But they
Okay.
also have it used to be called YouTube Red. I don't know if that's still what it's called or not.
Okay.
But it's more like their version of Netflix. That's sort of
Oh,
like
so
more like
original
shows.
content, things like that.
But
Cool.
and then they also have YouTube TV, which is like Hulu Live TV,
Yeah.
which is just
so-
like your rate what you would get with like cable or a satellite.
Yeah, so YouTube TV, I think, is a really good deal right now.
Mhm.
Since we got kicked off Spectrum, I guess it doesn't matter that I say that.
Yeah.
But no, I think YouTube TV is a very good deal if you do the weigh the pros and cons, and it gives you
Yeah.
many of the local channels that you want for a lot less money.
Mhm. Yeah, I think it's around $50 a month.
Yeah.
Ish. And then
And the thing is, you can cancel at any time. It just works off an app on your TV. Like, you don't have to have
yeah, you
someone
don't
come
have to have a
install
box
it.
or a dish
Like,
or anything.
you just have to have good internet,
Yeah. Yep.
which is what I've been lacking at my
Yeah.
house.
Yeah, the problem that I incur with that stuff and why I've never really tried any of it is like, if I was going to have, cable or whatever, the reason I would want to have it is like live local sports,
Right.
and that's something that's lacking on
Yes.
all those things. Now, I mean, they might have like the Big Ten Network or
They
some
do.
things like that,
Yep.
but most of them don't have the Reds games,
Right.
or maybe even the Bengals games. I
I
don't
wonder,
know.
is there a package that you could buy to add on to that? Or-
So you can buy, so if you wanted to watch Reds, you could buy like the MLB Network's streaming thing.
Okay.
But if you live where we live, the Reds are blacked out
I
because they
see.
want you to, because they have all these big cable deals.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So they,
So like the MLB Network's great if, say, you grew up in Chicago and now you live in Ohio and you want to watch the Cubs. That you could probably do, although that may be blocked out if you lived in like the western part of the state.
yeah.
But if you want to watch like the teams in your market, you're kind of out of luck.
Interesting.
So you're better off with radio, really.
So here's a shady hint. Do you want a shady hint?
I would love a shady hint. Get a VPN and tell them you live somewhere else.
So I have a friend that subscribed to YouTube TV, and what he does or did is he drove all the way to Cincinnati
Mm-hmm.
and set it up there.
Mm-hmm.
So it thinks you're in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And so then he gets the Cincinnati channels,
Mhm.
local channels.
Yeah.
Versus like here we would get the West Virginia channels.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's just a little shady. So if like you're setting it up on your phone, it
Mhm.
goes off where it thinks you are.
Yeah. So that's what a VPN does.
Yeah.
So you can change what region you're in with that, and you can say, you're wherever. So like a lot of people will say you live in another country and you can't get like Netflix has different things in different countries. Whatever.
Sure, I would think
So
they
say
would,
you
yeah.
live in the UK and you want to watch like the American Netflix or vice versa.
Yeah.
If you have a VPN, you can trick it to think you're in that.
Think you're in US
Mhm.
versus
Yeah.
I don't know. You just got to know what you're doing, but
Yeah.
it's possible to fool it a little bit if you really want to
If you
go
really
down that
care
path.
that much, yeah.
So, but I don't know. I told you that over the Christmas season,
Mm-hmm.
somehow I saw this article that Amazon had their Fire TVs on sale.
Yeah, did you break it already?
And no, I didn't. So Jamie and I had a smart TV, LG, which I really like. It's just it was a little bit older, so it was not able to support all of the apps like that I wanted, like Paramount Plus. You know, some of those like
Gotta have
Apple
that Yellowstone
TV
fix.
Yes, all of that. So saw this Amazon like story. It was like, hey, you know, Christmas deal, blah, blah, blah. So I got this like 55-inch Fire TV, which allows you to download any app that you could possibly think of. It was like $300. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay. And I love it. It's so easy to use. So just a plug for Amazon's Fire TVs.
I saw at Walmart the other day, they had 75-inch Roku TVs, like this one behind us for under, it was like $400.
Yes.
I was
it's
like, Jesus.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yep. So there you go. And it's hilarious. Like you can pick them up and fling them like a Frisbee. There's nothing to these TVs.
Yeah, the LED ones are really thin.
It's really crazy.
Yeah. I have a QLED TV, and it's a lot heavier than the regular LED ones.
Well, that one's that's fancy.
It is fancy. But yeah, the LED ones are real light. Like, yeah, I mean, we probably could play Frisbee with that one.
Seriously.
But you could bludgeon somebody to death with that one.
So the monitor that we have over here is like
the one that's 20 years
old and it's, weighs 50 pounds. So, but it's so funny. Like, Jamie and I were talking about TVs for the new remodel, and he was like, how big of TVs can we get? And I was like, you can get however big you want, but he's like, wow, would you mount them on the wall? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, the mount would have to be really strong. I'm like, they don't weigh. I was like, freaking 72-inch TV probably weighs 10 pounds.
Yeah, the conference room in there has 3 70-inch TVs all mounted together.
They probably
like nothing.
Like they weigh nothing. Don't worry about the mounting of them. That's not an issue anymore. So
yeah,
it's just funny how those TVs have come down. I think our first flat screen TV that we bought was 42 inches. I will say it still works. We use it in the workout room. It is so heavy, flat screen TV, and we financed it, and it was $2,500. I mean, it was 100,000 years ago. It was like when they first came out. It was just, and it was when the Buckeyes played the national championship.
That's what you splurged for.
And we were like, wow, that'd be really cool to watch it on that.
Back in the early days of the flat screen TVs, my dad was really resistant to getting one. And he would always say, if the Reds make it to the World Series, I'll buy one.
Buy one.
Hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
I think we ended up buying him one for Christmas because he wouldn't buy it for himself. And then in his bedroom, he has my old TV.
One of the big square ones.
No, well, it's just an older flat screen one, kind of like that one.
Oh, it's so funny. We were down our basement looking at, you put old furniture and stuff in the basement. Like, I don't know why I still have it, but I have the old corner TV stand, where you had the big square box TV. I saw that down there the other day. I was like, is there even a need for that anymore? Like, would anyone use that for anything nowadays?
Yeah. Just for the nostalgia of having it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we've maybe talked about this. I watched all the Sopranos episodes last summer, and there's a part where he's got the little box TV like in the big cabinet that's like built
the big
specifically to hold the little box TV. And it's just like, the lap of luxury at the time. And it just looks so dinky and silly now.
There's so many parts of some of these shows that are timeless. And then there's
the technology. Yeah, it really dates
that
stuff. And the clothes.
It.
The technology and the clothes.
Clothes and cars.
Yeah, and cars. Yeah.
But yeah, technology definitely exposes like, cell phones. Like, why are they not using a cell phone? Like, so, hey, I saw, by the way, are you an Outer Banks fan?
No.
It's one of my guilty pleasures.
Yeah. You don't have to feel guilty. Like what you like.
It's like a teeny bopper show. Anyway.
Still.
No, I know a lot of people my age that watch it, but it's coming back in February. I just saw it announced yesterday.
How long has that show been on TV?
It's
got to be like...
This is the third season.
What?
Outer Banks. It's on Netflix.
This is different than the OC.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking of the OC.
Yeah, no. Outer Banks.
I was going to say, that's had to have been on TV for like 20 years now.
No.
Okay.
It's not on TV.
I gotcha.
No, Outer Banks is a Netflix show, and it's just these like teenage kids that get them, so they become like treasure hunters, and you know, they do way more mature things than teenage kids should do, and there's like the ruffians and the rich kids and the whole battle between that, and you know, people trying to kill them and stuff, and they're teenagers because they're trying to find this treasure. And yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Kind of wild. So at the end of last season, they were shipwrecked on some deserted island. So I'm not sure how that's going to come.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We will. Well, you will. I won't.
I feel like I need to watch I always feel like when those seasons come back on of any show, you need to watch like the last couple episodes.
Well, they normally do a pretty good job with the little recap thing, you know. Yeah.
Reminding you.
Outer Banks.
Yeah. It's good.
You say so.
They're all really, really pretty. I will say that, you know.
So that's what you watch it for.
There's nobody that isn't beautiful in the show.
Okay.
Let's just say that.
All right. Show I watched the new Addams Family show Wednesday on Netflix. Did you watch any of that?
I have not, but I've heard that discussed quite a bit, and I've heard really good things about it.
It's pretty fun.
Is it?
Did you watch the Sabrina show on Netflix?
No.
So it is Sabrina just with the Addams Family.
Is it like Sabrina the Teenage Witch? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. I did watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch when it was like Melissa Joan Hart.
Right. So the Netflix version is all like goth and stuff, you know.
Okay.
But it's basically about she goes away to like witch school.
Okay.
And it's sort of Harry Potter-esque, but
Gotcha.
like a little more mature. And this is like the same thing. It's
okay.
Wednesday going off to like witch school.
So Wednesday is the youngest.
She's the daughter.
The daughter of the Addams family.
Right. Yep.
And isn't there
Morticia.
What's the son's name?
Pugsley.
Pugsley.
Yeah.
Is he younger?
Yeah.
Okay. So Wednesday.
It's pretty fun. It's pretty good.
Okay.
It's very silly.
Is it like serious or is it like a comedy?
I mean, it's a dark comedy, but it's also kind of a mystery.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Have you watched the whole thing?
Yeah.
Is it how many episodes?
I don't know. 12 maybe.
Okay. Very good. I'm on the last episode of Dead to Me. It's funny.
Yeah. I've not watched it.
I think it's 3 seasons. This is the last season. So yeah, it's Christina Applegate, and then I can't remember the other girl. The girl that played Velma on Scooby-Doo movies. The Scooby-Doo movies.
Yeah. I forget her name too, but she's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're awesome together. And basically the gist of it is Christina Applegate's husband is killed by a hit and run driver. And then it's just like her trying to find out who did it. She was obsessed with it and whatever. And she meets this girl and comes to find out that the girl is the one that killed her husband, but they become best friends. And then all of this chicanery happens in between, like crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So this is the last episode. So, and they're not doing it anymore. Christina Applegate's in not very good shape right now.
Oh no.
She's battled cancer. She has MS. It's really affecting her. So they said in this last season of her filming, she had to just film in very short spurts because she just wasn't able to do it. And I love her. I think she's so sweet. So
that's sad.
Yeah. But I feel like MS is affecting quite a few folks in Hollywood right now.
Probably very serious.
So, yep, it sure is. All right. Well, what do we have going on tomorrow?
I don't know, Jen. That's a good question. What do we have going on tomorrow?
Well, we'll come up with something.
We'll come up with something. We sure will.
Maybe Pete will stop back by if there's any crazy news going on.
Maybe. So the plan was for Pete to come in on Friday since it just did news yesterday.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to have it like too close together.
Sure.
Give it a little bit of a buffer. But Pete will be back this week with More news.
More news because he's stored up for, a long time. There's lots of stuff going on.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, the good news is, as far as I know, the rain is supposed to move out this afternoon.
Yeah. It's it should be done around 2:00. It looks like.
It needs to go bye-bye.
Yeah. Between 12 and 1 looks like it might be pretty rough, but it should be by 3:00. It should be.
Okay. And
Should
then
be gone. And then we're actually going to get 2 hours of sunlight according to this.
we'll see.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see. And then there isn't any rain for the.
Yeah, and then no more rain in the forecast until Sunday.
Yeah. So hopefully things can dry out a little bit. This is getting a bit much. So.
Agreed.
All right. Maybe a good time to plant those sunflower seeds, though.
That's
yet.
a little too early. I actually do have spring flowers coming up already.
Do you really?
Yeah, that warm weather kind of tricked them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're daffodils.
Yeah, daffodils will come up. Good news is they can survive the cold, and the crocuses, the daffodils, all that stuff.
Yeah.
They'll just pop through the snow. They don't care.
Nope.
Strong little buggers.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, have a great day, everyone. We thank you so much for tuning in. Get out and celebrate National Trivia Day
At 6 Cents Brewing.
tonight at 6 Cents Brewing because
Yeah.
we have trivia every Wednesday. So it's a good
Nice.
time. Yep. All right. Have a great day, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye.